ख़वातीन हज़रात खुशामदीद। आई गेस डिस्पाइट में मैं आपका मेज़बान वजाहत अहमद, मेरे साथ ज़ैन मोती और मामा आसिम हैं।
सखत उर्दू में बात कर रहे हैं, सखत कड़क उर्दू एकदम। इंग्लिश में बात,
उर्दू
इंग्लिश इंट्रो, ये
A
उर्दू
star
इंट्रो था, अब
incoming.
इंग्लिश इंट्रो। वेलकम बैक टू द आई एग्जिस्ट इज फाइट पॉडकास्ट where we talk about whatever we want to. Today we are doing one of those themed episodes that we so suck at.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about aliens.
Aliens.
I personally am an ardent believer that aliens do exist and they have come to us and they have done stuff around the world. But I will explain my beliefs after these guys do, because they have interesting and boring kind of ideas as well.
Yes.
Vajad, what do you think about aliens?
I would say कि मेरी sort of middle ground approach है कि I think that with my experience of maths and statistics and science and stuff, it is a statistical impossibility that there is no extraterrestrial life. ठीक है? So with the billions of galaxies that are there, उसके अंदर आपके पास billions and billions of star systems, there definitely will be some sort of planet which is in the Goldilocks zone और जहाँ पे life possible है और life होगी, ठीक है? So I do think there are aliens out there, and there are
But do you think? But do
what
you think
I
there?
don't think what I don't think is that they have interacted with us. At least
Okay.
I have no statistical proof or any proof, so uh, I would say जैसे हम अपने further math stats के book में लिखते हैं, there is insufficient evidence to accept that aliens have interacted with human beings.
Okay. Do you think they have intelligence?
They might. There is
Because a lot
insufficient
of people
evidence.
believe that if there are aliens, they're probably microbes or something like that, which is
Huh.
like really boring.
But it's a possibility.
True. What about you, Mama? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I personally am undecided about like if aliens exist or not. But I definitely don't believe that they have contacted us. Like, they might have like reached like our planet, and like they might be like living among us or something. But they definitely haven't contacted us.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
obviously, as you guys can see, these people are living with their eyes shut. Today, I will attempt to open their eyes to the truth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is why I believe in aliens. Of course, the statistical thing as well, because it's kind of like क्या कहते हैं उसको ego, like क्या कहते हैं उसको, of us humans, like to think we're so special that we're the only living beings
It's
in
in our
the entire
nature.
universe,
It's in our
right?
nature as कि हमारी egoic nature है, और we think कि
इससे
we are
पहले हम
the
believe
important
करते थे
thing.
we are at the center of the universe and
Yeah.
everything revolves around us, or
Yeah.
so I feel like in addition to that being statistically impossible कि aliens नहीं है, there's so many things around the world that we still can't explain how they got there, how we built, how we think that we built pyramids, the pyramids of Giza. So
Yeah.
those bricks, each singular brick is like 10 tons, and at that time we did not have the technology to hang on, let me Google pyramids
I think
built
a similar argument
by
could be
aliens.
said for Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Yeah, but
Okay, see Stonehenge. Look, there's so many things.
I don't know
So
about
Stonehenge
Stonehenge.
we've
The thing
proven
is
is
like
an
pyramids and-
observatory. Stonehenge का पता चल गया कि it's an observatory to see like where the sun and stars and stuff like that. उसका है कुछ. How did we know all of that stuff? How do the pyramids of Giza line up with like those stars things exactly when we didn't have the technology to look at those stuff back then with that kind of accuracy?
Yeah, the thing is like even from like the ancient Greek times, like there was like technology to like look at stars and stuff, and like beliefs about like stars and stuff.
But it wasn't
important to them.
that accurate. Was it that
It wasn't
accurate?
but it was still there.
I don't
right?
understand how
So
can
like
it can be
it's
that
very
accurate.
egotistical to like whatever. It's very naive of us to
Egotistical.
think, oh, we're all like all that shit, and they had nothing,
Okay.
because like there are actually like
Each.
signs that.
Are you saying
Yeah, I'm saying,
so?
I was
Each.
saying that there's actually like signs that they had like a lot of knowledge, wagara, ancient Greeks and stuff, but that was like lost over time. So it's very deterministic of us
So
to
this
think like they
each
knew
monolith
nothing.
block, each
Hmm?
block which were used to build the pyramids weigh 2 tons each, with some of them weighing as high as 50 tons.
Hmm.
50 tons. They did not know how to use wheels. How did the ancient Egyptians carry those stone blocks from the other side of the Nile? There
Like
have been like people
they
have said,
had
can we
wheels.
use like wood
No, they
stuff?
had wheels.
They had wheels.
They knew
They
how
didn't
to
have
use
wheels.
wheels. They
अच्छा,
had
one
wheels.
theory, अच्छा
They had the
चलो,
concept of wheels.
one
Okay,
theory that
the
I
three pyramids
came
of
up with
Giza.
right now, one theory that I came up with right now, कि चलो, even if we reject the idea कि they had the technology to transport heavy weights, ठीक है, there may be a chance कि they didn't use bricks of that huge size. Maybe वो छोटे छोटे है ना माउंट्स बना के ले आते थे, और वो मतलब माउंट ले आए, उन्होंने उधर जाके रखा, उसके उस माउंट से उन्होंने ब्रिक तैयार किया, वो उधर ही और ऊपर एक उधर ही रहा, and when that brick
Exactly.
sets they
Like
built the
the
next brick.
bricks that the pyramids are made
Okay,
of,
look,
they're not like our modern like
हाँ,
wo wali bricks, like
look at this. Look at
ceramic
this.
or
The three
stone
pyramids
bricks.
of Giza the three pyramids of Giza are aligned exactly with the position of three stars of the belt of Orion. As the science of
Mm.
astronomy would not have been developed thousands of years back,
Mm.
it has to be the work of aliens who would have had the knowledge of astronomical positioning of stars.
नहीं,
Yeah, but like then the
they
thing
did have
is
knowledge of
like they
stars.
did not have knowledge of like astronomy, but they still had beliefs about the celestial bodies. Like the
Right.
beliefs about celestial bodies, like it dates back to like the most ancient civilizations, like to the
Plus
Indus
they
Valley
use the
civilizations
stars to
even.
navigate.
Hmm?
Plus they use the stars to navigate.
Yeah.
But
So
navigation
like
के लिए करना
and
and
yeah,
and
and
using
like
them to
there's like
this
the pyramids
accuracy.
of Giza.
हाँ,
The thing with pyramids of Giza is that they have like somewhat of a religious significance to the ancient Egyptians. And in the ancient times, the stars and the heavenly bodies were like heavily intertwined with religion. So obviously there was like it wouldn't have been like the belt of Orion for them. It could have had like some other religious significance
yeah.
based on which they
What
built
do you guys
the
what do you guys
pyramids.
say
Then
about
hence
what do
why
you
they're
guys say
so
about the
statistically
fact that
aligned.
all of these civilizations started building pyramids the same thing all around the world without having any connection, any contact? Like the Mayans were building pyramids over there in South America, जो पता भी नहीं था इन लोग को existed at that time. That wasn't part of the known world at that time. They were
Hmm.
building pyramids over there. The Egyptians are building pyramids over here. Even in the Indus Valley, there are some shapes that
Yeah.
are like a lot like pyramids.
अच्छा, so one
Maybe
one
aliens
theory
said,
is
"Oh,
कि
this is just a nice shape built pyramid."
no. See, first of all, the Egyptians did travel, or in fact, there are theories that there is archaeological evidence that suggests that Egyptians were the first civilization to actually reach the continent of America. Furthermore,
Seriously?
yeah,
Yeah.
furthermore, the the pyramid shape, it's the triangular shape. It's a basic shape. It's a very utilitarian shape. आपको ये हर जगह के आर्किटेक्चर में नजर आएगा. आप जापानीज चाइनीज आर्किटेक्चर में आप देखते हैं उनके जो पगोडाज होते हैं, ठीक है, दे आर बिल्ट, दे आर लाइक फैंसी, दे आर फैंसीफाइड, बट दे आर स्टिल इन ए ट्रायंगुलर शेप. इट इज अ शेप कि अगर आपको मुझे कोई चीज ऊपर ले जानी है, आई कैन रोल दैट अप, कोई नीचे ले जानी है, आई कैन रोल दैट डाउन, ठीक है. इवन इफ यू मेक स्टेयर्स, ठीक है, the stairs, if you just map out the edges, that makes a slope and that makes a triangle. बारिशें जब होती हैं, ठीक है, we know कि अभी तो ancient Egypt is a desert, but ancient Egypt used to be, and still a part of it is farmland. There is the Nile there, ठीक है. So when there is rain and stuff, आपके जो बारिश है, वो तो अगर आप स्क्वायर कोई चीज बनाओगे वहां पे तो वो पानी ऊपर रह जाता है. और तो हमने एक और चीज हम ये भी देखते हैं कि when we look at regions where there wasn't much rain, okay, if you look at the Arabian Peninsula, that has been a desert for a long time. So if you look at archaeological evidence there and architecture there, you'll see that their structures have flat tops. Whereas if you see the regions where we know there used to be vegetation and there used to be precipitation, we see that they built in these triangular shapes to have the system के पानी नीचे drain हो जाए.
Okay.
And apart from that, like, how do you
I think that's a
explain the
little thin,
mass graves
but
of like pyramid builders and stuff? If like pyramids are built by aliens, where do the pyramid builders' like graves वगैरह come from? Like,
I mean, why is it so? Why didn't like what if aliens mind controlled humans to make that stuff and humans just
See,
died?
those are very far-fetched ideas.
it's
Okay,
like it's very
let's
like
move on. Let's move on to talking about why aliens have become so important right now. Why you anyone who's listening to this might have noticed, agar you're like active on social media and stuff, aliens have become very like in right now. Oh, I'm sorry about that. That is because last year, by like in November or something, अमेरिका में उन्होंने कोविड रिलीफ बिल पास की थी और उस कोविड रिलीफ बिल में Trump of all people and some other Republicans snuck in this provision that by the end of June of this year, that is right now, the Pentagon has to release everything they have on UFOs and aliens, everything in a report that they will present to the Congress. The thing is, all of that stuff should be national security, but जब भी वो Congress को reveal करते हैं ऐसी report, there's always some leaks, तो हमें पता चल जाएगा what's the general idea of that. So yeah,
yeah. To be honest,
since
like
that
Trump
happened,
has always been like obsessed with aliens. Like, did you not
no.
see the whole
Hang on. There's so many
space
other
thing?
people who like this might be one of the biggest things that Trump has done that is right. That will be consequential hundreds of years from now. Lekin, ever since that happened, the Pentagon has started corroborating all of these leaks. जो alien keep like Navy people and Air Force pilots have taken videos from their phones कि ये देखो ये UFO जा रहा है. उन्होंने बोला कि that was real. That was a real encounter and we don't know what happened. And 2 weeks ago, they released another report, not the final alien wali report, but they said कि we have no idea what those things are. Essentially, वो scientific terms वो इस तरह थी, there is no evidence that they are UFOs. And by the way, all of mainstream media ran with that headline. There is no evidence that those were UFOs. But
Like
they're not saying,
their
oh, there is no
headline was
evidence saying
कि they labeled it as unidentified aerial phenomena,
yeah,
UAP.
UAPs. Yeah, they're called UAPs. I think UFOs is still more catchy. But so that's what the Pentagon does. They're just doing this thing where they're just shoving it under the rug.
To be honest, it could have been a deflection technique, like give everyone something else
Pentagon
to
does that
talk
all the time.
about.
Also, think about this. If there were really nothing there to be seen, why would the Pentagon of all? When have you ever heard
Yeah,
of a
that
government
was
coming
very
out and saying,
suspicious. That was suspicious as hell. Like,
we have no idea
what's
what
the
this
point
is?
of like releasing a report and like releasing a statement and saying like we have no evidence? Like
Just
it's
usually
nothing.
they
Like,
make something up, right? If they have something to hide, they make something up. But if they
Yeah.
have to do something, if there's something like so confusing, there's so much evidence mounting that they just had to come out and say, we have no fucking idea.
अच्छा, then I think this disproves your point as well कि अगर हम ये theory लेके जाते हैं कि the US government, the Pentagon, they have no idea what these things are. Then if they have no idea, how could they have communicated with the aliens?
I think what this the report ID, what it's gonna say is exactly in the terms like we saw in this report, this UFO thing where they just said, "Okay, oh, we have no evidence that there wasn't UFOs." They might say we may have communicated with some other civilizations that may be aliens or we're not sure. They will use those terms to like throw us off, and when they might have just revealed that oh we know there are aliens, we've communicated with them, but people will just say oh people will get confused about the jargon and stuff like you said, scientific insufficient evidence wali cheez, and people just and the New York Times and Washington Post जो government state news की तरह काम करते हैं essentially अमेरिका में, they'll just cover it all up. Mainstream media will cover it all up and it will just go back to being normal.
I think that theory is still like very jumping to conclusions, or this has a lot of QAnon energy.
Wait, do you
Also,
know
like,
QAnon
why
नहीं
are we
QAnon नहीं
believing? Why are
QAnon
we
से
नहीं
कोई
नहीं
believing
उसका
this
नहीं
in
है.
has
that
नहीं
Hollywood
but
cliche
uh,
that aliens are going to contact US first? Like, why not anyone else?
I
Like,
honestly
literally
देखो,
anyone else.
let me explain to you why I feel like that makes sense. Aliens आ रहे हैं देखो US जो है ना, whether we like it or not, it is kind of the de facto leader of the world. सही
Is
है?
it?
It
Is
is
it?
like kind of. It might not be as powerful as it used to be, but it still kind of is
it's
the de facto
influential,
leader.
we can say that.
सही है? बाहर से अगर कोई आ रहा है, aliens आ रहे हैं, वो बोलेंगे now I'm gonna have to talk to 195 countries individually. Why not just one country that's the most powerful, that's the de facto leader of the world? Let's just talk to this person. Let's talk to Biden or Trump or whoever.
Why wouldn't they talk to the UN then?
Because
They're like
I
195
feel like
countries.
that's because UN does not have a space program currently.
I
उस
mean,
वक्त तो
if
यूएस के
they're
पास तो इतना कोई हम like they had NASA, तो रशिया
अच्छा सही है, पता है क्या?
रशिया भी
They
था.
might have talked to, they might have sent a thing कि oh, this is addressing the UN, but UN में कौन ज़्यादा dominate करता है?
यूएस.
Yeah, but
Comes
like,
down to
why
the
not
US
China?
always.
Because like China
Uh,
has like a very good space program, and
Or
they're
honestly,
currently like military wise and like economically leading
अच्छा
the world.
से
Why
मुझे एक
not
आइडिया
them?
आया है कि हम ये कह सकते हैं चाइना करंटली नाउ इज लाइक टकराव है उसका यूएस से, इट ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल नाउ. एक बात तो ये है कि
I don't believe
दैट
that.
फ्रेम ऑफ टाइम एट दैट फ्रेम ऑफ टाइम जो हमारे पास लीक्स आए थे, इनिशियल रिपोर्ट्स आई थी, इट वाज पोस्ट कोल्ड वॉर एंड द यूएस वाज लीडिंग, ठीक है. अच्छा, one theory that I thought about now, कि what comes from the pro-alien side of the debate is कि the aliens probably communicated with Egyptians that helped build the pyramids, ठीक है. At that time, Egyptians were the strongest civilization, ठीक है. We say now the aliens have communicated with America because America is one of the strongest countries right now, ठीक है. अच्छा, at one point we also know कि the Chinese civilization, Silk Road वाला जो era था, that was one of the strongest civilizations at that time, ठीक है. There was also the time of Alexander the Great. There was the time of the Mongols, ठीक है, and
Roman Empire.
Roman
Mongols
Empire.
didn't survive long enough to become a strong civilization. It was just a very big empire, and then
Yeah,
as soon as the guy who made it died, it all went away, right? But the
yeah,
Romans
but
were there for thousands of years,
yeah,
a
अच्छा,
thousand years
so
or thousand.
we haven't, like there is no as far as I know, we haven't seen any archaeological evidence कि the Chinese or the Romans, the old Chinese civilization, Silk Road वाली, they had any contact with the aliens. ना हमने ऐसी कोई archaeological evidence देखी है कि उनके अपने कोई
Actually,
paintings में कुछ ऐसा
there
बनाया हो.
is evidence of Roman armies, Roman legions seeing stuff in the skies flying around, and but people just chalked it up to be entire armies being drunk. How did
But to
everyone, okay, considering seeing, okay, everyone is drunk, why would they see the same thing?
yeah, but like the testimonies were not by the entire army. They were like from a select group of people
How do you
that
know? Did you
claimed that.
Google this?
Actually, नहीं, we'll actually have to research into this more कि क्या है before we can actually make educated comments about it.
Romans seeing UFOs. That's all the research you're gonna get at I Exist to Spite.
You're going to get quality research content from the best sources possible, aka Wikipedia.
Nay, it's historydisclosure.com.
Oh my god,
No,
fancy.
Okay, Chariots in the Sky. Jewish historian Josephus wrote around 65 AD about a sighting over Judea. On the 21st of the month of Artemisium, there appeared a miraculous phenomenon passing belief. Indeed, what I am about to relate would, I imagine, have been deemed a fable. Were it not for the narratives of eyewitnesses and the subsequent calamities which deserved to be so signalized. For before sunset, throughout all parts of the country, chariots were seen in the air armed battalions hurtling through the clouds and encompassing the cities.
Hmm.
So an alien army flew over.
अच्छा एक चीज
Yeah,
मेरे
but the thing
ख्याल
is
में
that
आती है.
it can be chalked down to like religious beliefs वगैरह ना.
हाँ,
The Norse mythology, in the Norse mythology, people believe that like Odin had like this whole hunt that would like go across the sky वगैरह. So it could have been chalked down to that
अच्छा एक चीज
religious
मुझे
belief.
इसमें लगी ना, ये है इन आवर करंट टाइम्स, ठीक है, वी सी वी हमें यूएफओज और अनआइडेंटिफाइड एरियल फिनोमेना की जो साइटिंग्स होती हैं, वी हमें ये लगता है, वी अज्यूम और वी सी दैट दीज थिंग्स आर डिजाइंड सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक फ्यूचरिस्टिक एयरप्लेन्स जैसे है हमारे पास है, ठीक है ना. अ, तो एंड एट द टाइम उनकी साइटिंग्स में उनके पास जो उनकी जो व्हीकल्स थी, उनके चैरियट्स थे, दे सॉ चैरियट्स. वी सी
पता है क्या?
these UFOs.
We describe UFOs like futuristic, like you're right. That might also be terms. Like they might not look like chariots, but that's all they had. They didn't have cars, they didn't have planes. So they
Yeah,
said, oh,
but
that's like something flying, and it looks like something big that someone could sit in, so that's a chariot. They're calling it chariots.
So
like,
हमें
but
भी
the
जो अब
thing is
तभी
कि like
देखा है.
most of the UFO sightings वगैरह are either from like telescopes or like from planes or like like bases, navy bases and stuff. How
अच्छा
are we seeing like UFOs with their naked eyes? Like how?
चलो लेट्स गिव देम द बेनिफिट ऑफ द डाउट कि यूएफओस बहुत करीब आ गए, ठीक है. अच्छा जैन, एक चीज जो है व्हिच आई थिंक रिफ्यूट्स योर आर्गुमेंट इज दैट रोमन्स के टाइम में that was the civilization that came up with the Olympics and stuff. ठीक है ना? Our
Discuss.
our idea of a UFO usually is a cylindrical shaped thing. ठीक है? Why didn't they call it discus? अच्छा चलो
Like seriously,
होगी.
the like our like general perception of a UFO is literally a discus.
हाँ, they they could have probably said कि it looked like a javelin. हमें जो भी नजर आए हैं these tic tac shaped things, why didn't they call this, oh, these look like small pellets or small shot puts?
Also, like why would they like look at a thing and directly think, oh, somebody's sitting in it and it's a chariot now?
मेरी बात सुनो.
I do not
Because जैसे
understand
इसमें
that
like I think they said that they saw things inside. Like second. Armed battalions. How did they know armed battalions? They probably saw some weapons and stuff.
Yeah, but like the thing is that like our idea of like UFOs वगैरह, they're not like transparent or something and they don't like look armed. So like are we not like harmful to aliens anymore? Like
Why
are
do
we not worth
you...
the big, putting out the big armed battalions anymore?
I just feel like it's like different times and different ways of describing the same thing, which is UFOs.
Yeah, the description doesn't line up. I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
description doesn't line up.
Whatever.
And the
Okay.
thing with like
सही है.
the thing is like you're saying
सही
it
है.
was reported by the armies.
देखो.
Like
अच्छा
it
मेरी
wasn't
बात सुनो.
reported
मेरी
by
बात सुनो.
armies. It was like reported by like a handful, like
It
select
was
handful
full
group of
armies.
people.
There are testimonies from all over the place, and this wasn't an army. Let me read you an army wala thing. So this is titled "Two Armies Witness UFOs." The Greek biographer and historian Plutarch provides us with an historical testimony of UFO sightings at a battlefield during the Third Messideric Mithardric, read that up yourself, war. The testimony can be found in Plutarch's book Lucullus. The original extract describes the incident in the following words. When he faced the enemies, he was amazed by the number of people and wanted to avoid and delay the battle. As Marius, who was dispatched from Iberia by Sertorius to help as a sergeant together with a military army, challenged him, he got set for battle. While marching towards the conflict without any observable change happening, the air opened and appeared a rapidly descending object resembling a flame, which appeared like a vase in shape and like a glowing annealed metal in color. Both armies, frightened by the sighting, withdrew. They said that this happened in Phrygia near what is known as Otrais. Anyways, so that's like two armies,
Wonderful,
two opposing
like
armies
pronunciation there,
saw
but
अच्छा
a
okay.
vase-shaped thing.
अच्छा अब इससे जो दो चीजें पता चलती हैं, it vast shaped thing, ठीक है, and it was on a flame. It could be an asteroid.
Asteroid that just appeared and then went away.
Yeah,
अच्छा नहीं,
like that's what happened. It like appears and like
तो कोई
moves away to a
क्रैश तो
different
होता,
place
कोई
to
धमाका
crash.
तो होता.
नहीं वैसे
Yeah, they could have
एस्ट्रॉइड्स के
seen
साथ ऐसा
an
होता है कि
asteroid like
एस्ट्रॉइड्स
just
enter
enter the
atmosphere,
atmosphere.
burn and they burn up in atmosphere.
And the thing is, like, it could have like gone somewhere and crashed somewhere else, right? It's not just because you're seeing an asteroid doesn't mean it's going to crash anywhere near you.
Yeah.
It could like go somewhere else entirely because gravity.
Another one. In 150 AD, a report from an area right outside of Rome, described on a sunny day a beast like a piece of pottery, about 100 feet in size, multicolored on top and shooting out fiery rays, landed in a dust cloud accompanied by a maiden clad in white.
Yeah,
तो
to be
मेरी बात
honest,
सुनो,
like
एक बात सुनो, ये दो
this is
जो
like
the
Roman
two
religious
accounts that we read, the
propaganda,
two
to be
accounts that we
honest.
read sort of in the similar time period, वो जो है वो कब का है? That is like I believe in the 70s or 60s BC, and this was 150 AD. So just about a couple of centuries apart. They're describing these things as pottery, sort of cylinder, like circular in shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this kind of, listen, उस जमाने में they didn't have the words to describe it as we do. हमने flying saucers बोला था. Flying
Okay,
saucers.
okay. I understand. Like this one seems more genuine, but
Yeah.
the thing is, in Roman and like Greek times, they had like so many accounts of like gods coming to visit them and whatnot, and like they're using
These accounts have
hallucinogens
corroborations, like
like sea
historians and
gods वगैरह.
so many
It could have
testimonies.
been chalked
Those
down
were
to that.
fables.
नहीं उसके भी आपको टेस्टिमोनीज मिल जाएंगी क्योंकि people believed in that. This could as well be
Okay.
a fable.
So, अच्छा मेरी बात सुनो. I will admit कि eyewitnesses are never the most reliable things, but you have to also admit that they're not completely dismissible. You can't just say all of it is fake. There has like where there's smoke, there is fire, and this is aliens is something we've witnessed all over the world, everywhere across time. ये वाली भी है, अभी भी हमें मिलती है इतनी सारी. I think I've seen a UFO in Karachi of all places.
कराची में UFO.
देखा
कराची
था
में
मैंने
UFO
भाई, वो
आएगा, तारों
एकदम
में
से
फंस
लाइट जा
जाएगा.
रही है, मुझे लगा प्लेन है, वो ऊपर चला गया, खत्म हो गई, गायब हो गई. आई थॉट कि वो ये कोई क्या हुआ ये.
How high were you at the time? But
I wasn't high. I जमात खाने में मैं था, खाली था जमात खाना. I was doing duty. वहां पे होती है, वो एक कॉन्सेप्ट है, लेकिन वो तो समझ आ जाएगा जिनको भी पता है. ऊपर गया था अकेला, एक पानी की मोटर बंद करनी होती है सेकंड फ्लोर पे. मैंने बाहर देखा तो वो बहुत ही थक जाते हैं ना, तो अक्सर वो टाइम लगा के ऊपर बैठ के अकेला थोड़ा फोन वोन देख के आते हैं लोग, रिलैक्स करके आते हैं ऊपर आराम से. तो मैं बैठा हुआ ऊपर देख रहा हूँ, लाल जैसे प्लेन के नीचे नहीं होती कभी कभी लाइट्स होती हैं,
हाँ.
ब्लिंक करती हैं रेड कलर की, वो ऐसे जा रही थी. तो फिर बोले वो देखो प्लेन जा रहा है, थोड़ा सा ऊपर हुआ और गायब हो गई.
It could be a military jet.
पाकिस्तान में मिलिट्री जेट इतनी तेजी से
क्या?
ऊपर जाए कोई हो ही नहीं
हाँ.
सकता.
yeah,
मैंने-
yeah, we have like such
No, क्या?
great military jets. Then I would
We
take
have
this
Okay.
flight.
We have
Might be military
J-17s,
jets.
we have Mirages.
Can you prove it otherwise? Can you prove that it wasn't aliens definitively?
Can you prove it was aliens?
Can you prove it wasn't
I can't,
like
but can
just
you?
a military jet with? There's so many air bases in Karachi, and it
अच्छा देखो,
easily can
there
be
is
a
insufficient
plane.
evidence that aliens have visited us, but that doesn't disprove the other side either. It's just the scientific jargon with relation to this kind of stuff is so complicated that when a scientist says there is insufficient evidence that there are aliens that have visited us, that at the same time the scientist knows and other scientists know कि they're saying, oh, इसका मतलब है कि हमें पता ही नहीं है कि आए हैं, हो सकता है कि आए हो, नहीं हो सकता है कि ना आए
actually
हो.
usually
That's just, there are no negatives in science, right? There are no negatives.
नहीं
There's only
uh,
positives or
नहीं एक चीज ये है कि uh, because I have done further math statistics and we use all of this terminology, we study this, so that's why I'm saying this. Audience, keep that in mind. अच्छा, so नहीं, उनको ये ना लगे ना कि मैं ऐसे ही बातें कर रहा हूँ, ऐसे ही शौक है हमारा.
expert है, हमारा expert है.
We have experts like credentials. Wajahat flaunt them credentials.
अच्छा, so
मैं
the
भी
thing is
वैसे,
कि
I don't want to brag, but I work at Baskin Robbins, so.
I work in Baskin Robbins, hence I am qualified to tell you about aliens.
aliens.
Listen, anyone who can read and has internet is qualified to tell you about aliens.
अच्छा
Hence
जी,
the history
so
channel guy with the hair.
अच्छा, so the thing with the use of insufficient evidence to accept or reject a hypothesis is कि basically logic ये है, even if मेरे पास हाईली बहुत ज़्यादा एविडेंस हो कि मैं स्टेटिस्टिकल टेस्ट करके मैं 95% तक मैं आपको प्रूव करके दिखा दूं कि हाँ दिस इज समथिंग लेजिटिमेट, ठीक है, ये कोई चीज़ बस तुक्का नहीं है, आई कैन प्रूव इट. A scientist will still say that there was sufficient evidence to prove this happened, to prove this hypothesis, or there is insufficient evidence to prove that hypothesis. ठीक है, they always use this terminology because that क्योंकि शुरू में ये होता था कि the whole process of science is science. A scientist never states this is a fact. A scientist states that I had this hypothesis, I tried to disprove this
Yeah,
hypothesis,
it's always a
and
hypothesis.
I found sufficient or insufficient evidence to accept or reject this certain hypothesis. Okay. So, and this is a trend that has been going on for a long time. Okay. So, अगर हम if we go into that कि if a scientist uses the term there is in like insufficient evidence or sufficient evidence, hypothesis and jargon and stuff like that, it doesn't mean कि they know or do not know about a thing. ठीक है, अब
Exactly.
जैसे लाइक देयर आर मेडिकल स्टडीज, ठीक है, हमारे यहाँ भी वैक्सीन की स्टडीज होती हैं, ठीक है, तो वो साइंटिस्ट ये पे आके कहेंगे कि हाँ ये वैक्सीन इफेक्टिव है, बट अगर आप रिसर्च पेपर उठा के देखो वो ये कहेंगे देयर इज सफिशिएंट एविडेंस टू प्रूव
Yeah, the
there is
thing with
sufficient
like
evidence to prove
science
that the
is like
vaccine
it's
may do work.
मेरी बात prove हो रही है
yeah,
भाई,
one
मेरी बात prove हो
research
रही है.
is not conclusive. So the thing with like scientific jargons is it always keeps the conclusion open to more
Yeah,
interpretation and like to be proven right or wrong. So basically one like study or like a
Can
group
you
of
guys
studies,
accept?
like they will present a hypothesis, prove it like correct or not, and
Can
then
you guys?
it can hmm?
Can you guys at least, ताकि मैं आज रात को सो सकूं, can you guys say we don't have enough evidence right now, or for a couple of years or a decade or so, to be able to definitively say there are no aliens and we are the only human, the only life
yeah, I
in
can
the
agree
entire
to that.
universe.
I can agree to
Yeah,
that.
we can say that we don't know if there's
I will
aliens
take
or
that as
if
a
there's no
small,
aliens.
वो क्या कहते हैं, वो क्या कहते हैं, Pyrrhic victory, right? And I
Small
will,
salvation.
yeah, be sleeping like a baby tonight. Anyways, that being said,
Oh my God,
alien
I
theories
convinced
के बारे में मुझे
Wajahat and
बात करनी
Umama
थी.
that
The
aliens
other
may
day,
exist, even though they said aliens may exist. I shall sleep like a baby tonight.
yep. The other day, me and Maria were talking about aliens and stuff, and I just, I've been thinking about aliens a lot these days. You might have noticed,
Yes.
मेरे बाल भी वैसे वो alien history channel वाले बंदे की तरह होने लगे हैं आजकल.
Zell has been
Um,
thinking about aliens so much he's trying to become one. Oh no.
तो we were talking about alien theories, मैंने ऐसे ही बोल दिया. अब by the way मुझे मार मत देना blasphemy के लिए. मैंने बोला कि मेरा मजहब पे से, not just Islam, all religions, like मेरा थोड़ा सा belief जो है ना हट जाएगा. Because how is it possible that for thousands of years there have been so many religions, there have been the Quran doesn't outright say there are aliens.
Yeah, but the thing with
If
Quran
aliens are
is it
proven
doesn't
to be,
outright say things, but it like hints at things and it like talks about things, and there is
पहले
like
मुझे अपनी theory बता देने दो.
mentions about okay, yeah.
The Quran talks about jinns openly, right? And we've always thought about jinns as like what is jinns in like हमारे how do we explain jinns to our Muslim, non-Pakistani viewers?
Okay, jinns are basically another
Spirits.
creature that
Kind of spirits, but they're not
spirits are
humans.
different. Spirits are different. Basically, jinns are another creation. Like they're created from clay. They are created from fire. They are creatures like us. They were created by God, but we can't see them. They can see us. They can interact with us, but we can't see them. That is the general idea of jinns.
Okay, so my theory is, what if the jinns that talks about, the Quran talks about, and all of Islamic lore talks about, what if jinns are aliens? Because think about it, we
देखो,
can't see them, they can see us. Could mean we don't have the telescopes and the technology to see them, but they have developed their technology to see us and interact with us without us understanding.
देखो,
No, not really.
because you're
Why I find that funny,
that loses
is because एक से हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के पास एक कहानी है कि हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, when Islam was still spreading, the Prophet went to Taif, which is a city in Arab,
in
and he got rejected from there, and he was like physically attacked and stuff, and he was very let's say depressed about that entire situation. Anyone would be. So he was coming back, and he was in a valley where he was visited by 5 or 6, I don't remember, jinns who then accepted Islam and went back to wherever they came from. If aliens are jinns are aliens, that would mean aliens came to the Prophet and accepted Islam in a valley.
अच्छा अब देखो,
Islamic Republic of Mars.
Yep, Islamic Republic of Mars.
This whole thing is the biggest flaw here is that
Elon Musk goes to Mars and finds mosques and stuff, people praying, सज्जे कर रहे हैं, रुकू में खड़े हैं.
the big flaw
Even
here
though I
is
do
that,
not believe in your theory that like jinns are aliens, but
I would like
it
to
is
believe that.
genuinely funny. Like SpaceX discovers the aliens and they're like praying and stuff. Islamophobia abolished.
the biggest flaw here is that the use of the word aliens. So we use the definition, by definition, we use the word alien to describe anything that is unknown to us. Okay? Anything extraterrestrial that is unknown to us. Okay? So हम ये कहते हैं कि we have had alien sighting. ठीक है? Jinns can't be the aliens that we talk about because we can't see jinn. ठीक है? Hence we jinns can't be aliens, हम उन्हें देख नहीं सकते. ठीक है? As far as the fact, और फिर ये भी बात कि शायद जिन्स के पास इतनी टेक्नोलॉजी हो कि वो हमें इस वजह से देख पा रहे हैं. So I think that is something that there is no definitive evidence, there is no like anything, even there are no even vague comments about having jinns having technology. What
Okay.
there is what there is scripture about in Quran is this is from chapter 42 verse 30. And among his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and of whatever living creatures he has spread forth in both, and he has the power to gather them together whenever he pleases. Okay. So this clearly shows that there are creatures in heavens, earth, जिधर भी हैं अल्लाह ने बनाए हैं. ठीक है. So this vaguely says that there might be extraterrestrial life. ठीक है.
It's open to interpretation. Some people interpret it like heavens and the earth as like earth and like the heavenly bodies in space, while other people would interpret it as like heavens
jinns.
as in
Other people would interpret it as jinns and farishte and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the seven skies, they will interpret it as that.
इसके अलावा I mean we are not suitable enough to इस पे तफसील करने की, या फिर हम कोई भी इतना काबिल नहीं है.
So like I googled it, legitimate sources again, and like there's this website called the Muslim Vibe, and they have the same verse, and they have like different interpretations of that same verse, but they also have like hadiths, different hadiths that like point to the possibility. So I'm gonna read that. Wait. Okay. So this is a hadith by Imam Jafar al-Siddiq, who's like a famous scholar.
Hadith quoted by
And
Imam Jafar al-Sadiq.
yeah, it was quoted by that. Sorry, it's him. Okay, and it says maybe you see that God created only this single world, and that God did not create humans beside you. Well, I swear by God that God created thousands and thousands of other worlds and thousands of humankind. So that points
Is
to
this like a
either
Sahi hadith?
multiverse theory or either extraterrestrial life. We can interpret it as multiverse theory as well, like
Is this a Sahi hadith?
simultaneously existing Earths.
This is from the हदीस की किताब है बिहार अल अनवर, ये उसका वॉल्यूम 8 है, वॉल्यूम 8 में से है.
How do you see के वो like by I mean Sahi, I mean the Sahi as in जो classification के we absolutely know the Prophet said this.
Let-
Yeah, like we can like find out if it's sahi or not by like looking at the actual book in which it's present, because that has all the ijma and not the ijma. What's the word for it?
Classifications
sanad,
of
sanad.
Sanad and the matan of it. So we can like interpret it from there. And there's
This is
another
like
one.
giving me
It's
Islamiyat flashbacks.
yeah, and then there's another hadith that is attributed to Imam al Sadiq. It says Allah created 12,000 worlds, and every one of them is bigger than the seven skies and the seven earths together. None of the people of those worlds ever think that Allah has created other worlds. It is present in Khisal, volume 2, page 639. So, again, a lot of different worlds, extraterrestrial
Aliens.
life. Might be
Aliens
interpreted as
proven.
multiverse theory, but who knows?
Aliens confirmed.
Aliens confirmed, but aliens interacting with humans not confirmed.
Yeah, and it also confirms that humans have like the epitome of like what's that
So this
thing
was
called,
like
like the complex where you think that you're the center of the world.
that is true. Acha, that's all the if you guys are saying it, there is significant evidence ke Quran maybe it's hinted at and there's several hadiths and stuff, then okay, maybe mere dimag mein I already believed in aliens and now my religion says yeah, so I'm even more sure about aliens now.
Yeah,
But
so like
what I think
a
is
few hundred years down the line, if like aliens actually make contact, or like if we get a confirmation, we can say that's another scientific discovery that Islam predicted. Nice.
What I think is an interesting thought experiment is what happens if aliens are real, or okay, let's just first talk about what happens like June. By the end of June, the Pentagon releases. We've talked to aliens. There's this federation that we're talking to that are protecting us and teaching us how about this technology and how we can deal with climate change and whatnot. What would happen around the world?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I feel like it would be chaos. We cannot like
Why?
deal with different races of like humankind. Among humankind, we can't deal with different races. There's so much racism and like race related problems. If there's like aliens exist, that's going to be a whole another other conundrum. So people are going to go haywire.
So what if they come up to us? I saw this thing on the internet. I know this is not, none of this is like real research. I'm not like one of those Trump people who says, oh, I saw it on YouTube and I believe it to be true.
Conspiracy theories.
It's just conspiracy theories. I understand that. So take everything with a pinch of salt. I saw this thing on YouTube where the guy was saying, this alien federation is telling us how to fix climate change in a more efficient, faster way. But the condition that they've put on us is that if we give you this technology right now, you will use it to kill off each other. So first fix your like aapas ke issues and wars and stuff, and we'll then teach you how to
अच्छा,
make energy
so
without destroying your
one
planet.
thing that
To be honest, like
जो मेरे
if
दिमाग में
aliens
already
do like come,
danger sign flash करती है ना, वो ये है, this is something extremely specific about a topic that we know very little about.
hmm.
What? Climate
We
change?
we know very little about aliens, and this tells us something extremely specific. के aliens contacted and they told कि हाँ, we have a solution for climate change.
किससे पता है कि this person who gave us this theory used to work at Pentagon, which is why I feel like
So
those guys
To be
probably
honest,
know what
there
they're
are a
doing.
lot of crazy lunatics used to
हाँ,
work at Pentagon, so I wouldn't give them all that much credit.
just
But
because they have a Pentagon, they
apart
don't
from
get
that, just like
Spies,
a
get out of jail
general
free
thought,
card.
crazy lunatics.
a general thought, like if aliens do exist, we can expect the military funding to go above and beyond. Like,
नहीं, अगर
पहले से ही
aliens if
अमेरिका
aliens
ने
तो
स्पेस
पहले से
फोर्स
ही ऊपर
बना
चली
ली है.
जाती है ना. हाँ.
yeah, they
इंडिया और
have made
चाइना
a
दोनों
space force.
वो मिलिटराइज कर रहे हैं स्पेस को.
No, but I'm saying that, yeah, it's just an abstract idea right now, okay? But if there's an active threat, because
Why do we
anything
assume that
like
it's always
extraterrestrial,
do you guys think aliens will always be a threat to us? Because I feel like
I'm not saying they're going to be a threat, but it's like in human nature. It's like a survival mechanism in which anything that's foreign to us, we first interpret it as a threat,
देखो, this is what I
unless proven
believe.
otherwise.
This is what I believe. If there have been aliens, for example, aliens hai, they have the technology to talk to us and be in contact with us.
Mhm.
I feel that they've been around for hundreds of millions of years, even billions of years. So yeah,
Mhm.
they might have gotten over war and racism and speciesism, I guess, even. And they're now like a peaceful race that wants peace across the universe. And they're trying to teach us, okay, bhai, fix your war stuff and we'll fix climate change for you.
To be honest, if history is anything to go by,
Uh,
it's not possible.
Human
It's literally
history.
not
Human
possible.
history. We don't know what
history.
happened before.
Human history. So like the only option aliens will have to like make peace is literally obliterate humans. Like humans, I don't think we're
Or
capable
just
of like
stop
peace.
the bad people. There are countries that are good in the world. Like you can unequivocally say there are countries जहाँ पे नहीं होती खराब चीजें. Like look at the
Name
Nordic
one
countries.
country. Name one
Look at
country that
Scandinavia.
has
All of those
no
countries.
systemic problems. Then name one country with no
Scandinavians,
systemic
they
problems.
do still have systemic problems. उधर भी
But
Nazism
they're
है, उधर भी
much
racism
better
है.
off in terms of human rights, right?
The thing is like they're better off in terms of human rights, but there's always a systemic problem. They have a lot of racism and like Islamophobia and like xenophobia
Yeah,
problem.
maybe they can
So
aliens can help us fix that as well.
अच्छा, वही बात है ना.
aliens
We're going
aliens will
way
kill
into
us.
the
That's
speculation
it.
zone.
Okay. Tell me, this is an even more interesting thought experiment. Say we somehow prove, I know this is statistically impossible to do, as Wajahat would tell you, that aliens are not real at all. There are no aliens anywhere in the world. Proven, confirmed.
Mhm.
We are the only life in the entire universe. Humans are the only living race in the universe.
Mhm.
Is it then our duty to spread life all over the universe? Like Elon Musk sends us to Mars and we colonize the moon and in the entire eventually the entire
Yeah,
solar system and then the
let's
entire
first at
galaxy and
least
the
deal with
other
the
galaxies
problems
and
we've
stuff.
caused on Earth. Let's
What?
first deal with the problems we've caused on Earth and then like go
नहीं.
I
around
think
like
फिर ये हम
colonizing.
Is it नहीं
जो
सवाल ये है कि is it our duty then
I think वो
to
वही point
spread
आ जाता
life?
है कि in this hypothetical के we are the only life on earth, हम वही उसी बात पे फिर आ जाते हैं कि ह्यूमन नेचर ऐसी है, वी थिंक दैट वी आर इम्पोर्टेंट. तो हमें ऐसा लगेगा कि वी हैव द ड्यूटी टू स्प्रेड लाइफ all over
The
on
opponents of that
universe.
idea कि it's our duty say कि look at what we're doing to the earth.
हाँ,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
plus
Like, look
we
at
are
what we're
like
doing to the
But
Earth.
maybe that's just how it works. Maybe that's just how it works. Life sort of entropy हमेशा होती है ना. Everything falls apart eventually. So life feeds off something,
Hmm.
the thing falls apart and then moves on to the other thing. Then that falls apart. Then
Evolution.
it moves on the other thing. It falls apart. It just life
So
sustained and
basically,
spreads
Zayn is
all over the
trying to
universe.
say, Zayn might prove the theory that we used to live on Mars, we destroyed Mars, and now we're here destroying Earth.
I I don't think that's that kind of a thing. A lot of people say that might have happened. Ke, humans were first on Mars because we know that Mars used to be like Earth for a few hundred years, for a few thousand years, or few million years. I have no idea how that works. I went from hundreds to millions, by the way.
Growth. Stonks.
So it might be possible कि वहाँ पे ये चीज थी, and then that place started falling apart, so we moved to. And there's also evidence that Venus used to be like Earth, and that fell apart as well. And that has oddly that has so much carbon dioxide, and which is why it's so hot. And
But
now we're doing the same thing to Earth.
Venus is close to Earth, close to the sun, and the sun is expanding. So we can attribute Venus's condition to the sun.
Yeah, but I feel like humans have a duty. If we're like the sole life in the universe, we have a duty towards conservation first before expansion. If we can
We have a
learn
duty
to
towards
like
the conservation.
conserve life,
What if the question is
then-
okay? What if you're Umama, you're the president of Earth someday? Say yeah. Allah na kare.
dangerous, but okay, go ahead.
Say yeah. You are faced with this question. Conservation means we just die on Earth. Because wherever we will go, we will destroy that planet. Would you choose expansion and hence survival of the human race, or conservation of everything else that is just infinite? The universe is infinite. Think about it.
I feel like the thing is that if it comes down to like survival, if like Earth is beyond saving,
yeah,
and just to survive we need to move to a different planet, like go somewhere else, then it's our duty to survive, because like we're the sole life in the universe, we have to survive.
Yeah, we have to sustain it, right?
Yeah,
what if
it comes back to sustenance now, sustainability. If it and that is if there's like
so people like Elon Musk and honestly me as well, I argue we can't have all our eggs in one basket. We have to be on Earth and the Mars and the moon and वो किसका moon है? यूरोपा किसका moon है? Jupiter का.
Jupiter, I believe, or Saturn.
उसके पे भी जाओ, पूरी दुनिया में, पूरे universe में फैल जाओ, ताकि if one place gets destroyed, that'll be sad, but humans will survive.
No, but the thing is then when we have a backup, we slack always. We will slack. If we have like one backup, we will slack.
Talk about
so
your
if it comes down to like survival, then it's our duty to like go somewhere else. But colonization, no, that's not a duty. That's like something of a backup plan or whatever. It can be done or whatnot, but it's not our duty. Like having a fallback plan is not a duty. Our first priority should always be to fix the mess that we have made on Earth.
So
fix
talk
our
to the
racism,
aliens about
fix
fixing
our
climate change
wars.
and then colonize Mars. Yeah, very good.
Fix
So we
climate
first talk
change,
to the aliens
fix
about fixing
racism,
climate change,
fix
and then we'll
wars and
do the
hunger,
Islamic Republic
and
of
then
Mars,
colonize wars.
and then we'll do Islamic Republic of Moon and Europa. Islamic Republic of Milky Way. Sahi hai bhai. That is all I had. That was all of the questions that I had that I wanted to talk about. I felt were interesting.
This was so fun.
This was fun.
This was fun, right? I enjoyed talking about aliens. अब मैं महीनों तक नहीं बात कर सकता aliens के बारे में. But I don't know if Pakistanis are that interested. ये like last episode में बोला था भरे पेट की बातें हैं ये सारी, ये भी भरे पेट की बातें हैं.
बिल्कुल.
No one, we were talking about this before the episode, but you said ये सारी North America और Europe में क्यों है? Because उनके पास बहुत टाइम है फारिग के आसमान में देख के ऐसे. जैसे मैं बहुत फारिग था तो आसमान में देख रहा था, UFO दिख गया मुझे. कोई गरीब आदमी
You were literally procrastinating then. टंकी बंद करने गए थे, you literally staring at the sky.
आसमानों में देख रहे हो, देखो बादल.
That's main character energy, Zen. I was bored one day. मैं मोटर बंद करने गया था. Then I looked at the sky and I discovered aliens.
That is such a desi thing, by the
way. Now I have to save the world.
मैं मोटर ऊपर.
Yeah, it's not a desi thing. मोटर बंद करने गया था, but like छत पे मोटर बंद करने गया था. I feel like that's a desi thing.
True. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Please like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
क्या?
Like,
पता है
share,
क्या हो रहा है? मैं इतना थक गया हूँ, मैं लाइक इतनी बातें की है मैंने कि मैं थक गया हूँ.
Say.
और अभी जब एडिट करने बैठेंगे तो और लगेंगे भाई.
मैं तो नहीं कर रहा.
मुझे
Also, is it just me? Is it just me, or is everyone like procrastinating to the max right now?
Oh my
I have
god.
like
यार
I have 2 modular exams then, not 1, 2 modules एक साथ, or like
Bruh.
1 day के difference से, and it's like 10 or 12 subjects in one module. Like it's
Holy
like
shit.
same 10 12 subjects but like different topics वगैरह ना, because different
मेरी
modules.
छुट्टी है पता है.
यार
मेरी
Zen, I
sort of
will
छुट्टी है.
slap you. I will slap you यहाँ से, like I will slap you through the phone. सही है?
देखो मैंने
इतना
बहुत पढ़ाई की थी, मैंने बहुत मेहनत की थी. 2 सेमेस्टर मैंने 80s में लाया हूँ मैं. 84 एवरेज है मेरी. बहुत पढ़ाई की थी यार. थैंक यू.
Zen is literally low-key flexing. Oh my god, guys, I work in Baskin Robbins and I have 84% and I have like offs, university offs.
And I have my
Privilege check
car.
कर रहे हैं.
यार फ्लेक्स करने में तो मजा आता है. I feel so adult. I feel like a grown up. Yesterday I got coffee before work. I was like, dude.
I
अभी
have the
अभी
opposite
8 10
experience.
12 11
I
महीने
have
पहले
like
जो है ना, मैं मम्मी से फ्रेंच फ्राइज के पैसे लेके जाता था गली में दोस्तों के साथ फ्रेंच फ्राइज खाने.
बच्चा कैसे बड़ा हो गया.
हाँ.
oh,
आंसू.
I am having like the opposite adult experience. I have like 8 deadlines which I can't miss because like higher stakes, because university NGOs and like societies and startups have like they will fire you and you get a bad reputation वगैरह. So the stakes are higher, but I'm still procrastinating. So I'm having the legit opposite adult experience.
I'm somewhere in the middle. Just got over with A levels.
Vajaj, you're a kid. You're a child. Do not say you're
I
having
got
adult
over with A levels.
experience.
Comparatively to you, मतलब लेकिन got over with A levels finally. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. बस E-cards रहते हैं.
He is free.
फ्री नहीं हूँ मेरी बहन.
इसके बाद हाँ भाई, कोई फ्रीडम तो है ही नहीं भाई.
फ्री नहीं है. मैं भी sort of
Yeah,
अपने
there's no
जैसे
freedom.
सबसे
in
से
this
ओ
life
ये
में there's
डिग्री हो
no
जाएगी, उसके
freedom, but
बाद
you're
बस
comparatively
लाइफ
freer.
सेट है. ओ ये हो जाएगा, उसके बाद
नहीं
लाइफ
होती.
सेट है. जॉब तो करनी है पूरी जिंदगी.
यार this is the meme. Like university में let me read it to you. रुको.
ये वाला I don't think this should go in. This is like so
Welcome to
slow.
university life. मतलब अब ऐश ही ऐश, right? मतलब ऐश ही ऐश, right? I'm gonna share it. रुको.
वैसे हम ये let's just end this first.
Yeah.
Cut it somewhere where we ended the conversation
हाँ.
and then we have to do a cut because this is very slow.
Edit में मैं कर दूँगा.
Okay.
Okay.
मतलब
So
edit खाली cut है.
हाँ.
Okay. So that's all we had to talk about, and please like this thing and share, and if you like more alien stuff or ghost stuff, let us
Yeah.
know, because I like ghosts and I like aliens.
Yeah, I am dying to do another ghost stuff.
है ना? I'm not
episode.
going to do Bloody Mary again though.
Yeah, this time let's do like desi like ghost legends. But
मेरी दादी ने
invest
मुझे
करो
इतनी
ना.
सारी stories सुनाई थी. I will do that. Okay. Anyway,
I am going to pull up like legit.
this meeting is going to end in less than a minute.
हाँ.
Like,
So
share,
guys,
subscribe,
like, share, subscribe.
follow us on Instagram at I exist, right?
कमेंट से बता दें कि क्या आप देखना चाहेंगे और अल्लाह हाफिज़.
Bye.
Bye bye.